米大リーグのドジャースは日本時間26日、敵地トロントで行われたワールドシリーズ Ws 第2戦でブルージェイズに5対1で勝利し、対戦成績を1勝1敗のタイとしました。先発の山本由伸は9回4安打無四球8奪三振、1失点の完投で勝利投手となりました。山本は初回、ノーアウト1、3塁のピンチを背負いながらも後続を断って無失点で切り抜けました。3回に1点を失ったものの、4回以降は走者を1人も許さず、計105球で9回を投げ切りました。日本時間15日の敵地ブルワーズ戦に続く2試合連続の完投勝利です。試合後、通算223勝のレジェンドであるクレイトン・カーショーは、彼の投球は美しい、今夜は全てをやってのけたと称賛。山本の経験値と冷静さについても別次元のレベルと強調しました。さらにポストシーズンでの連続完投という快挙に関しては誰も予想できなかったはずだとし、その希少性を指摘しました。これらの模様を日本語字幕付きでご紹介します。
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, I think the most amazing part was him getting out of that first inning. First and third, nobody out with Vladdy up, and somehow manages to pitch himself out of that and then keep his pitch count down. I mean, we had an error in the second inning. He had traffic, guys on base. First 3 innings, got out of all of that. So I mean, he did everything tonight. It was amazing. I mean, this team's really good hitting team, so it was amazing.
Clayton, what changed after the third? It seemed like he just rolled from there.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, he hit Springer, but other than that, he was pretty flawless. I think, even that pitch that Vladdy hit really hard was 2 feet inside, so I think he was good all night. It just, they put some, they're coming out hot, a lot of energy. So they had a little bit of traffic there. And then, the air to start that inning. But I mean, once he started getting the leadoff guy out, it was perfect. It really was. It's perfect. Well, I just think his throw is beautiful. I mean, I've said that 100 times. I just think the way he throws the baseball is perfect. No wasted movement, so efficient. And then he can do everything. He can, he came here, fastball, curveball split basically. And now he's throwing sinkers, cutters, sliders. So he's got 6 pitches with command that he uses really well. And give Will a lot of credit too. He mixed in the right pitches, started throwing more curveballs, and it was amazing. It's really impressive.
Clayton, this was a 1-1 game for a long stretch, with the implication of if you lose it, you got to go to Los Angeles down 0-2. I wonder what you think of still a relatively young major league pitcher's poise in this moment to kind of hold it right there against a lineup like that.
Yeah, relatively young, but he's been a professional for 7-8 years. I think he won 3 times in Japan. So he's not adverse to this. He knows what he's doing, and it doesn't seem to bother him. You saw that last year, and this year's just a different level. It's amazing.
The way the game's been going, guys. The way the game's been going, did you think that you'd see a starting pitcher throw back-to-back complete games in the playoffs again?
No, I don't think so. I don't think anybody could have predicted that. But hope maybe it's a sign of where baseball should, and we'll get back to it. I think that's it's always fun to have great starting pitching matchups and see them go deep in the games. Maybe this gives some people some ideas for future, hopefully.
First start that didn't go great from in October. What have you seen from him that's been different ever since that point?
I think it's just more comfort, really. You're coming onto a new country, and everything's new to you, and how you go about it. It's different routines here. It's different days rest. It's everything's different. So what he did in his first year last year was amazing. Then obviously he's just more comfortable. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing on the mound. He controls the game. He's slow. He seems like he takes a step back and holds it whenever he needs it a little bit longer. He's just amazing.
What do you think about it being against this offense that has been fairly dominant in this month?
Yeah, we saw it yesterday how good they are. But our starting pitching has been pretty amazing the last couple of months, and Yoshi's been. I don't know if there's any more superlatives I can give. He's just so good, and to do it against this offense in this place on the road in the World Series, it's amazing.
Freddie Wilson had a great game today.
Yeah.
What have you learned about his last 4 years making it to the
Well, he's the quiet assassin. Let's call him that. He doesn't really talk that much. He's so more focused on the pitchers and making sure they're getting through the games that, like, for him to do things offensively and what he's done, he's an all-star back-to-back years. But I think he cares more about his pitchers, and that's what makes him so special. And then he goes out there and sees what he's doing offensively. A huge hit in that first inning to get me in, and then to keep pushing the right buttons, getting Yoshi through those first couple innings when they go through a lot more pitches, and to go out there and just hit that big home run to get us ahead, and just keep piling it on. And Will's been amazing since I've gotten to know him.
But when Yama faced guys, he's second, third, maybe even fourth time through, like it
Monkey in the batting cage right now. Monkey in the
seemed
batting
like
cage.
he's attacking with a completely different arsenal than before. He split early and then he expanded. How much more dangerous is that?
I do think it's kind of like Blake too. Like Blake can read hitters and see how they're swinging at certain pitches, and then you just go to that and go to his strengths. He was landing his splitter on 0-0 counts. He was able to, as the game got on, that curveball just became more of a strike pitch too early on, and he would flash the heater up and in to righties and two-seamers in, and then it was like there was one time he called back-to-back sliders. I was like, what? He's got that thing too, and there's a reason the Dodgers wanted him so bad a couple years ago, and I'm glad we did.
Where do you find yourself at first base, just kind of like thinking along with him, like trying to figure out like how is he sitting?
I know how like Blake and Yoshi, as the years gone on, when you take a split, sometimes I was like, oh, here comes another one. Let's see if you can take it 2 times in a row, and it's usually how that's the case. But there's certain times I thought he was going to throw another split, and then he was just a different pitch. So I'm glad he went with the different pitches.
You mentioned his poise. This was a 1-1 game for a large segment, and he's got to hold up to that. Maybe you go back to Los Angeles now in 2.
Yeah.
I wonder what you think about him holding up that.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of been the name of our game the last couple of months, who cover us every single day. It's been our starting pitching, and as an offense, we're trying to get runs as fast as we can, early as we can, but to know that the confidence you have in our starting pitchers to match what's going on the other side, just keep us in this game, and we'll find a way to scratch and claw a run or two. And Yoshi's been amazing at that. It's very hard in the postseason to string 3-4 hits together, let alone against Yoshinobu. So whenever that is, but he's on a heater right now, and I hope we don't have to use him again, and we can. But all the confidence in the world, he's had a great year.
Will, you had the best view of what Yamamoto was doing tonight. How masterful was it for him to navigate to pitch to a complete game again?
Yeah, that was special. He had his pitches going. He was locating the ball well. Just mixing speeds, keeping them really off balance. That's what we needed. We needed a great start out of somebody. Yoshi stepped up today and gave it to us.
The Jays have shown you they're swinging early in the count. How did you guys navigate through that the first couple of innings and that long first inning for him to be so efficient after that?
Yeah, that was huge to get out of that with no runs. That was kind of a momentum swing for us. So we needed that. But just mixing. Just doing what Yoshi does.
You're tied, I think, for the team lead in hits, and you lead the team in batting average in the postseason. But the home run was your first extra base hit. Is that a product of the hand just coming along? And
I hope so, sure. But that's me. I'm just trying not to do too much, trying to move the ball, help this offense score runs. You drive the ball great, but just hitting line drives everywhere.
You really had the 2 big hits that really got things going today. And you talked a little bit about trying to be with, stay within yourself before the game. We talked about that. Is that what you're doing in those situations?
Yeah, for sure. You can let the emotions get the best of you. Try to hit a homer every time or be the hero every time, and it doesn't work out. So just trying to simplify, put together a good at bat, swing the right pitch, and move forward.
How did Gausman do when that stretch there? He tied 17 in a row.
Yeah, he was pitching really well. He was really locating the fastball at the bottom. The split was on. He threw a few sliders, maybe not as many as we thought, but he was just mixing his fastball and splitter, and that was tough at bats. He was pitching really well.
So what did you see in your bat for the home run?
Yeah, I mean, he threw me all heaters. He got ahead 0-1, then kind of nibbled, was able to get back in the count. Get a mistake up and was able to keep it fair.
You don't really show a lot of emotion on the field, but after you hit your home run, you did look into the dugout and showed a lot more than we've seen. Was that just the urgency of needing to win this game?
Yeah. You know, it's a big swing. Obviously, you know, it's the emotions running high, but also trying to get the guys going. You know, Visky was in there right before the inning, getting us going. So just trying to keep that momentum going for us.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, he was unbelievable. You know, he did what he does best. So he mixed 6 or 7 pitches for the most part, or 5 or 6, and whatever it is. You know, he showed why he is who he is. He threw the ball well, and you know, he's not a guy that you can sit back and kind of wait for him to, make a mistake. You know, he didn't make a lot of mistakes tonight. So again, you know, hats off to him. You know, he's obviously been throwing the ball well. You know, he's thrown back-to-back, a complete game. So that's special. Yeah, you know, I think kind of the main thing is understanding, you know, that the other team on the other side is there because of who they are. And, you know, again, for us, it's about kind of staying in the moment, understanding that it's not just going to be easy. I think every team that gets to this point understands that. So, you know, you just have to take it, you know, one step at a time.
I mean, obviously, Yamamoto was on his game today. Making a lot of tough pitches, and he's got a lot of them. So it's tough to get in there and know which one's coming. And obviously, he kept the guys on their heels today, and you know, got to do a better job of keeping it close there at the end to give us a shot. But you know, we'll go back out there in a couple of days and get the job done. 2 really good arms going at it. Guys that fill up the zone and don't, you know, waste a lot of pitches and you know, kind of force the offense's hand. So you know, the more matchups like that you get, guys that like to fill up the zone and throw a lot of strikes, I feel like you're going to get that a lot. Splitter, fastball, you know, keeping them off balance, kind of, you know, doing, you know, playing the velocity kind of shape game. And yeah, he looked great. You know, hopefully next time he's out there, we can get him a few more runs and get him out of here one of these playoff games with a win. Our mindset stays pretty consistent. You know, we show up, we want to play our brand of baseball, and you know, kind of dictate what happens in the game through our at bats and through our pitching. So you know, we're gonna take this off day as, you know, the same as we have any other off day throughout this run, and you know, get our legs back under us and get ready to play a good game on Wednesday.
Back-to-back complete games, first time in 24 years that has happened in the playoffs. Curt Schilling did it for Arizona in 01. Unbelievable there. Will Smith, obviously the big home run. Hey, we're here with you now. Derek Jeter is here, David Ortiz, Alex Rodriguez, and I'm Kevin Burkhardt. And Derek, I know you felt like you maybe want to start the show with maybe a little mea culpa here from your side of things. Your prediction.
Well, first of all, I just want to take this opportunity to admit that I was wrong, completely wrong. I thought Yamamoto would be effective, but I thought there was no way pitching against this Toronto team that he'd be able to throw a complete game. Especially looking back, he threw 23 pitches in the first inning.
Right.
The way he was able to navigate the team and throw 9 innings. Did anyone else here think he'd throw a complete game against the Blue Jays?
Nope. I mean, I actually said in the pregame, I thought for Dave Roberts, a great day for him would be 3 pitchers, right? We talked about Yamamoto, Trinan, and then we talked about Sasaki for the close. But even better if there's one guy, and his name is Yamamoto. Listen, the less pitchers that touch the ball, the better it is. And I will tell you this, it's great to have baseball back. It's great to have starting pitching back, and it's exciting to watch. And I'm glad they're giving these guys ropes about, can you handle a guy for the 3rd time? Well, Yamamoto proved it. Tonight you can.
I hope everybody accepts your apologies, because to be honest with you, I know he was going to be filthy tonight. But people, you guys need to understand that for someone to pitch a complete game like this against this Blue Jay lineup, you need to have the greatest stuff in the game right now. I mean, Yamamoto was north, south, left, right. He wasn't giving in. I mean, this guy, I was telling my colleague right here that when I was facing some of the Japanese pitchers, one thing I learned facing this guy, they don't give in, guys. They battle. They give you their best. It doesn't matter if you are on top as a batter or they are down as a pitcher. They always go for the best, and that's why Yamamoto pitched a complete game tonight.
And he
I
wasn't.
thought you pitched for. I thought you picked Toronto to win.
Huh?
I thought you picked Toronto to win.
No, I didn't.
You did.
I did? Okay, I was wrong. You guys didn't listen. Check tape.
And you know the thing is he threw a complete game against a team that's hot. This is not a team that's been struggling offensively. This is a team that's been steamrolling people.
Yeah.
I mean, 1 through 9, they get on base, they make contact. We've been talking about it. Unbelievable. It's one of the best pitching performances I've seen in a World Series game.
First time that the Blue Jays have gotten a complete game thrown against them all year.
An absolute masterpiece. And Cap, you took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, this guy, you can make an argument that he's the most complete pitcher in the game. And I'll tell you why. It's not only the 6 pitches, it's not only that can throw strikes, any pitch, any count, but he also holds runners on well. He's 1-1 to the plate, which means you can't steal on him. He also fields his position. He covers bases. I mean, I don't know what else you can say about this guy. That was a masterpiece.
That a bat right there, say it all. I mean, we bloody he working in with the splitter, with the fastball, and then dropped that nasty breaking ball on here. And I was like, man, this guy's on top of his game tonight.
Yeah, I'm curious. Tell me, from superstar hitters, which you all are, tell me about the fact-finding mission which Yamamoto and Will Smith had to do against this team. Because we said it, all postseason, certainly yesterday. Blue Jays are so tough to strike out. They strike out the fewest of anyone. They make contact, hard contact. And we saw it on display last night. So early in that first inning, we're watching it together, and he's dropping the breaking ball you talked about. He's really mixing it up and kind of seeing their reactions. Derek, when you're facing a pitcher of that quality, how do you kind of feel each other out early in the game, and how do you think he did it and adjusted today?
Yeah, I think you try to find one pitch, right, that you can hit. And you're hoping, he's got 6 pitches, right? You hope he's not controlling all of them. He was throwing any pitch today in any count, and he was throwing them for strikes. He wasn't falling behind. He wasn't wasting pitches. He was going right at guys. So when you're facing a pitcher that has control of that many pitches, you just guess and hope you get one. But if you do get a pitch to hit, you can't miss it. But it's tough to make adjustments against a guy that has that repertoire of pitches to go to.
I agree with you. I mean, you're talking about a guy that has 6 different pitches. He was using all of them tonight, Kevin, at his best. He was throwing that cutter. That split was nasty. He dropped that slow breaking, but then he got 98 in his back pocket to use it both ways. So it's like you say, you need to expect a guy like that to make a mistake. And when he make a mistake, which he didn't as much tonight, you cannot miss it, because if you miss it, you can be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I think, Kevin, I mean, I wish I knew, because the truth is, when a guy's like that, nobody's hitting him, right? You might get a hit or something like that, but it's so limited in the way you can score against a guy like this. There's some pitchers, for example, if you go back to like the Dwight Gooden days, right, long time ago, but if you got on base, you can steal second, maybe you can steal third. You're not going anywhere. You're paralyzed at first base, and that's a problem. Reggie Jackson used to always say, when you have a great pitcher, don't leave the ball in the net. And that means exactly what you were saying, Cap. You got to put the ball in play and maybe cut down a little bit. Almost take like a 1-strike or 2-strike approach right from the go.
Yamamoto retired the final 20 hitters that he faced, final 20. And how about the last 8 innings? He threw 83 pitches total. 83 pitches
serious?
total the last 8 innings of the game. Just absolute domination. Amazing against one of the toughest lineups in the game that Yamamoto was able to do today.